Senor Marquez?
Mr. Stobbart?
If we're going to find the tabula,
Yes?
then you will have to help.
Of course.
I mean, by being totally honest with us.
When have I not been honest?
Tell me about the painting.
When I was a child, I would stand here for hours just staring at it. Who was the mysterious painter, El the Serpent? And what did it mean, la maledicción, the curse? I asked my father, but he just told me to be patient. He said that one day I would know everything.
Senor, can you decipher any of the painting?
The Tower of Saints, of course. I knew it was a castell. And the saints themselves are Gnostic. You see the woman in red?
The one you marked in the photo?
She is Mary Magdalene. We revere her as Christ's greatest disciple. The rest, I don't know.
The symbol on the face, it is obviously the tabula.
But the elements around it, I don't know.
Why is the tabula veritatis so important to the Gnostics?
It is an object of immense power. My ancestors kept it safe for hundreds of years. They brought it to Catalonia as exiles long ago. In any generation, only one Gnostic knows its exact location. My father, Xavier, was the last of these. He knew dark forces were gathering, but I was too young to learn the secret. So he commissioned La Maledicción, embedding clues to the location of the tabula within the painting.
But what is the tabula? What does it do?
I do not know. I know only that in the wrong hands it would be catastrophic for mankind.
What happened back in Paris? We thought you were dead.
A man came to the apartment looking for Miss Collar. He mentioned a stolen painting owned by a Russian. Obviously, I informed him that I was the true owner.
Obviously.
Next thing I knew, this thug had me pinned to a chair and was threatening to shoot me. So I told him of the castell, and while he telephoned his boss, I hit him with the little China dog.
Guess he didn't know you were the pugnacious type. So, Eva is your daughter?
She was a gift from God, late in my life. One day she will find room for Gnosticism in her heart, I am sure of it.
Why would a Dominican priest, Father Simeon, describe the Gnostics as evil?
That order was founded specifically to fight heresy and to eradicate Gnosticism. Behind their backs, the Dominicans were nicknamed the Dominicanes, or Hounds of God. For years, these dogs hunted down and butchered my people. They called us heretics, but in truth, they sought to find and seize the tabula.
When were you last here, Senor?
Not since that day when my father was killed.
So why did the painting bring us here?
As I said, because only here in this room will its clues become clear.
Marquez probably wouldn't have anything to say about it. I didn't think he'd be interested. I think this is yours.
My medallion? Where did you find it?
It was left in Nico's neighbor's apartment. Do you want it back?
No, you keep it for now. It has a meaning, a purpose. Perhaps you can find out what.
Sure. Just let me know if you ever want it back. So this is you with your mother and father?
Indeed, taken in this very building many years ago.
Take a look at this sketch.
It is the face in La Maledicción.
It was drawn by the man who restored the painting.
Then he knew of the Tabula Veritatis. What other secrets did he uncover?
I don't know, but he's dead now.
Just as well. The fewer that know the secrets of La Maledicción, the better.
Father Simeon, the Dominican priest, was carrying these papers when he was killed.
So?
You're not interested in him?
I have no interest in priests or their papers, senor.
You want this bunch of flowers?
No. We must hurry up and figure this out.
Marquez said that the painting contained clues only a Gnostic could solve. But when it was back in this room, all would become clear. The painting held all the answers. The Tower of Saints had led us to the Castel. I wondered where the other clues would take us. A symbol was cut into the man's forehead. Simeon had claimed that it was the sign of the Tabula Veritatis. A large Ouroboros dominated the center of the painting. Before he was killed, Simeon had said that the tree inside the Ouroboros represented hidden Gnostic knowledge. And here it was, a whole new image inside the snake. Hobbes had uncovered it, but now he was dead. It was a tower of tormented souls. They looked like the damned. The priest appeared to have a padlock through his mouth. He was pointing down to the ring below him. There was a tower within the ring. Maybe it indicated a place? The bearded figure was similar to the one on the fireplace in the hall. I wondered if there was a connection. The orb in the old man's hand glowed with a green light. The figure of the young man was just like the one on the front of the fireplace. It couldn't be a coincidence. The youthful figure held a glowing blue orb in his hand. Inside the ring was what looked like an affluent town. Within the ring, there were a number of houses. It was a village or a small town. Inside the ring was a castle gate. I had no idea what it signified. It was the figure of a priest, but with a dog's head. The figure was pointing up at a ring above him. Inside the ring was what looked like an affluent town. The carved figure was like the bearded man in the painting. It also reminded me of the figures from the illustration in Simeon's notes. The carved figure resembled the young man in the painting. It also matched the pose of the figures in Simeon's picture. The carved figure was like the bearded man in the... There was a crate of brandy amongst all the mess. It was a collection of what could only be described as stuff. The bookcase held an assortment of ancient books. There was a piece of stone on the ground. It looked like a discarded statue. The green stone figure was barefoot and wearing a hat. It resembled the statues in Marquez's family photo. The photo was of the Marquez family. I had to get closer before trying that. La Maledizio, back in its rightful place. But what were the clues? The plinths looked like they could be rotated.
So, until you came here, you knew nothing about the castle?
Didn't know, wasn't interested. I better get back on guard in case anyone else shows up.
Your father needs our help, Eva.
My father needs rest, peace, and quiet. Not more of this Gnostic nonsense.
So, what did you find out?
Not a lot. Eva thinks her father's losing it. She doesn't have much time for Gnosticism. She's never been here before. In fact, Marquez never even talked about the place. As far as I can tell, she and her father never got on. She left home the moment she could.
I don't blame her. So why is she here now?
Marquez begged her, said he was in danger. I guess maybe I'll go inside and have a look around too.
Tell me if you find anything. I'm not having much luck so far. The blue statue was missing its head. Only his robes and sandaled feet remained. Like the other one, this looked a lot like the statues in Marquez's family photograph. The blue-colored statue was robed with a bald head and bare feet. A third one resembling the ornaments in the family photograph. The statue looked at home on the plinth. The plinths looked like they could be rotated. On the fireplace behind them were two identical statues. Found anything?
Not yet. Just wondering what's through this door. What is that?
It's an old statue. I think it might help decode the painting.
I'll take a look. Maybe I can help. This door's locked anyway.
The door was locked. There were spent bullet casings lying amongst the rubble. What exactly happened here? It looked like this part of the castell had taken some damage. The end of the passage was blocked off with rubble. The door was locked. It was the lower half of a green, barefooted statue. It was a shield on which heraldic symbols had been painted. The scroll under the shield read Olot. The scroll below the shield read Berga. The scroll under the shield read Ros. The statue looked at home on the plinth. The statues were facing outward, just like in the Marquez photo. I waited with bated breath for something to happen. Nothing. Senor Marquez? Eva isn't a Gnostic?
As a child, she was shown the truth that is Gnosticism, but she has not chosen its path.
So, you're the good guys?
Good and evil are meaningless terms. We strive simply to maintain balance and keep the tabula from those who seek to exploit it for their own ends.
Nico and I are risking our lives for you. You really can't tell us any more?
Truly, I do not know.
Do you think the Tabula Veritatis was hidden here?
Perhaps, who knows?
Anything else about the painting I should know?
I keep telling you, I don't know.
I found this.
It looks like one of my father's statues. He collected ancient carvings.
Take a look at this.
That statue has seen better days. We must find the answer.
The stone fireplace was old and dusty. The statues on the plinth were the same as the ones in the Marquez family photograph. That was never going to happen. If I looked hard enough, I'd find the answers I needed. That wouldn't work. A scarred face stared back at me from within the Ouroboros. I wondered if the notes could help decrypt La Malediccio. The third passage read, "Pure light, white light, pure light will win." So it was written in the old texts, affirmed by the Tabula Veritatis. And these were the accused's last words. Interesting. There was more about light, and somehow the Tabula Veritatis had a connection. Simeon would have known what it all meant, but unfortunately, Simeon was dead. The second passage read, "And all shall know that the light of knowledge is blue, and that the light of life is green. For thus was the light of Eden, both blue and green, intertwined with the light of man to become pure." Knowledge is blue and life is green. Well, that was good to know. I wondered what color was the light of man. That wouldn't make any sense. That was never going to happen. The statues on the plinth were the same as the ones in the Marquez family photograph.
Ah, what is this? A staircase. I never knew. We must go up. We don't have much time. Stairs. Always stairs.
Oh my God, look at this.
Georges? Georges!
What's this? A piece of burnt paper with the word Wolfram. That sounds familiar.
Wolfram. I curse that name forever.
What do you know about Wolfram, senor?
Wolfram. I spit on the name.
What is Wolfram?
It was a mining company run by a murdering swine called Ganon. In the Civil War, they backed the fascists. In return, Ganon was given soldiers to do his dirty work. They came here, brought their bloody war to this house, and killed Senor Xavier.
They shot Xavier? Senor Marquez's father?
I was just a boy, but I remember like it was yesterday. Shot him and his friend Hernandez, like animals.
Why did they come here?
They were searching for something, but they brought death with them. But there is one thing I have never understood. Xavier tried to escape through the library. But the library windows are barred. It is a dead end.
So you have lived here for a long time?
All my life. My father served here before me. In fact, he named me after Senor Xavier's favorite saint, Saint Ramon, patron saint of the falsely accused.
That's nice.
Not really. The Moors put a padlock through his mouth.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess there's a lesson there for all of us. This Kenan, who was he?
He was Swiss, a businessman, and a murdering swine.
So what did he want here?
I don't know. When he wasn't torturing the locals, he disappeared to the library. Spent weeks in there, making notes and studying maps. His men, they crossed the whole of Catalonia searching for something.
Did they find it?
Who knows? One day, Ganon just disappeared. He never came back. An accident, perhaps, in the mountains. May his soul rot in hell. The soldiers didn't stay long to search for him. They hated him too.
The name Genan was familiar. He was the person who had tried to buy La Maledicción. A coincidence? Perhaps.
There is no such thing as coincidence.
So, when the soldiers left, you took back the house?
Yes. A few years later I returned and cleaned the place up. It broke my heart. I locked the library. I could not bear to touch Ganon's papers.
Can I have a look at the library?
No. I have kept it locked to honor the memory of Senor Xavier.
Please, this is important.
I lost the key.
You lost it?
That evening when I locked it up, I drank to the memory of Senor Xavier. The cellars were well stocked, Senora. It was a long night. I hid the key, then forgot where I hid it, so it is lost. That was all that was left in the morning. I haven't touched a drop since.
I needed to find out what Ganon had been working on in that library. George, are you there? The grate had locked back into place. So, you have no idea what you did with the key?
All I remember is waking up in the old car.
The floor of the car was littered with keys from sardine cans. Tin can keys. An old pair of shoes. The dashboard seemed intact, but this old family car would never drive again. I picked up what looked like an old diary. It was Ramon's. The library will forever be a shrine. No one will enter. I shall hide the key in a safe place. Once I've eaten. I have just what I need and know what to do. Oh, beautiful lady, your eyes are so blue. I just can't stop thinking of you. Ramon was quite the budding poet. Our lives are entwined like ivy on a tree. That is what you mean to me. Nice. Hey, I was reading that. Someone had been sleeping in the car, but long, long ago. The inside of the car was in a bad state. Have you no respect for great art? Pretty indigestible, huh? Hello, little one. The goat had been tethered. Seemed unnecessary. The gentle animal wouldn't have harmed a soul. A pile of old apples. Looked like the goat had been eating lots of them. A heap of old brandy bottles. Ramon must have been in the car on that night all those years ago. The mountains of Catalonia, breathtaking. No, I needed a better idea. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't make sense. The wind chime looked like it was made from old cans. I wondered if it was Ramon's handiwork. One old sardine can was bulging slightly. I fished around. There was something in it. And there it was, the key to the library. An intricate mosaic adorned the floor. The door was locked. Ramon had been true to his word. This place was like a shrine. A globe sat forgotten in a corner. I wondered if Marquez had played with it as a child. The trunk contained someone's personal possessions. At a guess, Genan's. I wondered what secrets they might hold. The map had interesting markings and scribbles all over it. George would be so jealous.
So, what is this place, Senor?
It is my family's chapel.
It's not like any chapel I ever saw. Where's the altar, the crucifix, the Christian symbols? And this fresco, what's that?
How extraordinary. It tells a story. It depicts the journey of my ancestors, the Cathars, and their escape from the hilltop fortress of Montsegur with the Tabula Veritatis, from under the very noses of the soldiers of the Albigensian Crusade.
Whoa, wait a minute. Who are the Cathars? And what have they got to do with the tabula?
The Cathars were Gnostics. They lived in the south of France in the 12th century, at peace with the Jews and the Catholics of the Languedoc. They preach that men and women are equal, that God is within you, and that the Church is an obstacle to salvation. The Pope found their core beliefs abhorrent. The Cathars accused him and his Church of corruption. He condemned them as heretics. When the Pope learned that they were the guardians of the Tabula Veritatis, he conspired with the King of France and called for a holy war to wipe them out. The Albigensian Crusade was a callous, ruthless massacre. The final confrontation took place here at Montsegur in 1244. The Crusaders believed that they had slaughtered all the heretics, but a handful managed to escape with the tabula. They traveled south across the Pyrenees along secret trails. They brought the tabula here to Catalonia to be hidden once more. Sadly, it was not the end of their trials. The Spanish Inquisition saw to that. Nevertheless, for generations, my ancestors continued to guard the secret of the tabula. So, you understand why La Maledizione is important to me. It will lead us to the tabula again, so we can keep it safe from those who wish to abuse its power.
The painting brought us up here, Senor. We need to find out why.